Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old, they are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret. Hooray! I am Emmett Davenport.
And I'm Lady Attercop.
And this week, our music selection has been suggested by one of our listeners, Adrian Jenkins. So you can blame them for all music. And what if you don't recall, a couple weeks ago I had challenged everybody that if you sent me music requests from one song to another, I would make a playlist, and this is how this happened, and this is what we did.
I totally
Yeah, no, I had said
I totally forgot about that, but I totally forgot about that.
I had said, hey, if people have requests or want to challenge us with music things, that was one of the things, and they responded, so here we go. That's
your response to their challenge?
This is my retort, my musical retort to their challenge, and their challenge was from Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall to Basement Jaxx, Do Your Thing. They did not specify which Another Brick in the Wall, so I just did all of them.
Is there parts 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so.
And if you sync it up with The Wizard of Oz. Is it no.
Yes.
Isn't it the wall that you supposedly can sync up with The Wizard of Oz?
That's just because if you do drugs.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assumed that was implied.
Yeah.
If you do enough drugs, you can sync up Pink Floyd to anything.
Honestly, if you do enough drugs, you can sync up pretty much anything to anything.
Pink Floyd,
it just depends,
Young and the Restless.
It just depends on what illicit substance you are doing. Because sometimes
what illicit substance you have to change the illicit substance in order to change the sync.
Well, because the tempo changes. Like, you don't, because it's one of those, like, if you're taking uppers, you don't want to put some weird, like
12 Monkeys. You should definitely try to sync up Another Brick in the Wall.
I have no idea what I'm talking. I haven't done illicit substances in decade. Yes, that's a.
You're like, wait.
Yes, no, that's about right. Actually, more than that.
I'm currently
it might be
on
2
all
decades.
The illicit substances.
Might be 2 decades at this point. But
I'm currently on all of the drugs. I know a lot about them.
Yes, I know you took that test.
I took that test. I was surveyed about drugs for the government.
Where you learned a whole bunch of new names you didn't know.
I did learn a bunch of new names.
Which I feel like might...
That poor surveyor.
I feel like that might have been the wrong... takeaway.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago now. Yeah, they came to there was a survey person, they knocked on the door and were like, hi, I'm from the government, and we're doing a survey about drug and alcohol use. Can I ask? And they were like, they had my name and my age, and they're like, can I ask you some questions about drug use? And I was like, I mean, we'll give you $20. Absolutely, come on in.
Sure.
It was a very pleasant looking woman that I figured if I had to take in a fight, I might be able to. So it felt comfortable. And I did. She left the card and came back, and I Googled, and it was a real thing. It was a real survey that was going on at the time. But yes, then like she gave me a little laptop and said I had to answer all these questions about drugs, and it was all anonymous. And I just kept stopping the survey to ask her questions and say, I didn't know that was called that. And she's like, you can't ask me questions about what you can't comment on the question you're on because then I know what question it is. It has to be anonymous. I'm like, I'm sorry. But I got really thrown by Houston Homeboy. I really want to know what drug that is. What is Houston Homeboy?
I like the one that's called Silly String. What's that?
What is that? And then I kept saying things like, I have done this one, but not on purpose. Does that still count? And she's like, no. Read the second part of the question. I'm like, oh yeah, for the express purpose of getting high. You're right. No, I didn't. I wasn't trying to get high. I just accidentally got high. Okay, continuing on. It was supposed to take about 20 minutes. I think it took me like
an hour.
5 to 10. No, 5 to 10. Because it was just like every question was like, no. Listeners, I have not done drugs. I was that kid in school. And also all of my friends that did drugs, also like I was their tiny little fresh babe because I hadn't done any drugs. They were like, don't peer pressure into her. Lady Attercop doesn't do drugs. Keep your foul devil lettuce away from her.
I grew up with hippies, so I did not do them as a child or a teenager or early 20-year-old. I did do them as experimental in my mid-20s because I was curious. And then
I'm waiting until I get like 70.
It lasted all of like a minute. Like it basically was like, oh yeah, no, I suddenly realized this is not anything that I wasn't really missing out. Thanks.
I'm waiting until I'm 70 to ruin my body with drugs.
Yeah,
that last decade is gonna be a fun ride.
That's when you get the good stuff.
That's when I'm gonna do all the drugs, drop all the acid, take all the shrooms, give me everything you got.
I can say that
you're gonna have new drugs by then.
As a control freak weirdo, there's a lot of illicit substances that I would not recommend. Yeah, there's a lot, and also if you have any dissociative history.
Yeah, when you've hallucinated or disassociated without the use of narcotics, you suddenly are like, that doesn't usually lead to good things within me, so I'm gonna say no, thank you, but no. Already just currently disassociating without the drugs, so
thank you, but no thank you.
I'm gonna stare at this wall for about 45 minutes. Have a nice day.
Yeah, well, and also I will say that if you are a parent, of some young children and that you are concerned and worried about the drug talk that you're going to have, I will suggest that one of the easiest and best ways to deter your child from ever doing drugs is to tell them about all the drugs you took as a child.
Unless you really liked all the drugs you took and all your stories are great and amazing, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, they're not. I can guarantee you that there is no one out there in the world that has only good drug stories.
Willie Nelson.
No, he's had bad trips.
Snoop Dogg.
He's also had bad trips. There's no way.
Martha Stewart.
Well, I mean, she did bake muffins afterwards, but she probably burned her hand.
She's got some good drug stories.
They've all had bad experiences because that is the inevitable downside of doing drugs, is that there's always recompense and there's always something terrible.
That's right. This is our morality episode. Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah, don't drink. She says that she takes a long, cool sip of her vodka beverage. It's in a sippy cup.
No, it's...
Alcohol is the devil's drink.
No, but it is one of those things, though, if you tell your child all about it, Because your children are trying to rebel against you, and that's one of the big reasons why kids go off and experiment with that stuff. If you share the fact that you also did those things because you were trying to experiment and rebel against your own parents, it suddenly makes it way less cool.
The instances of drug use are actually very down a lot in the current young generation.
That's probably because all of us Gen Xers were telling their kids about them.
Either that or they have phones now, so they're not
Yes.
bored constantly.
Yes.
So they're not like, they're not all sitting around. They're all trying the latest TikTok dance. They're not all sitting around on somebody's back patio going, I don't know. What do you want to do?
Their parents
Well, I've got this Molly.
Their parent isn't going off about the trials and tribulations of, what was it, hanging out.
Hanging out. Also, they weren't left alone for vast stretches at a time like we were.
No. Oh, that would. Wow. The things that I would have gotten. Actually, no. All I wanted to do as a teenager was be in my room and read comic books.
We're sorry, modern kids.
Like, all I wanted.
Who am I talking to? No modern kids listen to this.
No.
They're too busy doing the latest TikTok dances. Or so the internet tells me.
Is it sea shanty dances now? What is
it? That's the only thing missing from the sea shanty TikToks is an associated dance. It's clearly got to be some kind of jig.
Well, the Mariner's Revenge. Dance. We just need to do that on a TikTok.
I was going to say, we need to make the whale dance a TikTok thing. That would involve one of us making a TikTok video, however.
I'm not doing that. I already...
I don't even have that app on my phone.
I removed it. I don't like the interface.
I don't like the autoplay, I have to admit.
Yes.
Kids, tell us how to turn the autoplay off. We don't know. We're old. We were left alone for vast swaths of time by ourselves, and we did all drugs during that time, and it ruined our brains.
We don't know how to turn things off.
And now we don't know how to turn the autoplay off on either TikTok or on Twitter, and it's really upsetting us.
I have it turned off on Twitter. I figured that out.
I actually have it turned off on Twitter.
I have it turned off on Twitter and on Instagram.
I like how we're both had to defend ourselves. No, it's turned off on my Twitter.
I can totally figure that out. I figured that out.
I know how to use that app.
TikTok.
Doesn't make us any less lame.
Yeah, no, we're old and I don't understand it. But
we're old and we like your videos, but we don't understand them.
I just
keep posting them to Twitter so we can see them.
I just don't like the interface. It's just
I agree with you. I don't like the interface.
I don't like the scrolling. Maybe it's because I don't ever go on Tinder.
I'm on Tinder right now.
What?
Yes, I'm not on Tinder.
I'm gonna tell Mr. Ducky.
First of all, I've already got all the relationship I can handle. Secondly, can you imagine my social anxiety ass trying to do any kind of dating? Just period. End of sentence.
Yeah, no.
Not online, not in person, just period. End of sentence. Like, I'm very uncomfortable now, and I'm not going to talk to you for about 3 days. Okay, bye. I know I swiped. I don't know which direction to swipe, but I know I swiped, and I was interested at the time that I swiped, but I was also slightly drunk, and now I'm sober, and now I don't know what to say to you, and I'm anxious, and I'm sweating, and I don't want to talk to you anymore, so I'm going to ignore
all of this.
Your message. Sorry.
I've actually removed the app, and now I am done.
Yeah, and I've actually deleted the app out of shame. And my profile. Yes. And all associated profiles. And I set up a fake profile to make it look like it might have been somebody else.
A fake profile where I'm a friend of my original profile.
Because
I wanted to appear cool, like I had friends.
And now my friend profile just says, "Oh, poor Lady Attercop, she's becoming agoraphobic."
Oh. That was
I did in my early internet days, I did get a few dick pics.
Oh.
When I did a webcomic?
Oh.
Because nothing brings out the horny. And not like I also got sent a dildo pic, but that was a different situation. That was more of a share, look at this horror with me moment, rather than a sexy moment. Because sometimes I just had that relationship with friends.
Oh, well.
But yeah, no, I got uncomfortable questions about what kind of underwear my characters wore when I did a webcomic, and I got 2 dick pics.
Oh.
I no longer have them.
Well,
I
that's
saved
good.
them originally.
Why? Why would you save them?
It's like, ooh, and I saved them to a folder. They were in the same folder. I also got porn of my own comic, and I saved that as well.
Like, what? Why? Like, because all I can picture is that at some point you were going to click on it because you couldn't remember what it was, and then all of a sudden you're going to go, oh!
It is a penis. Yeah, I vaguely, like, you know, I think I was thinking if this is going to be a thing, if people are going to send me dick pics, I'm going to send them back.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Like, oh, this is what we're doing. But I don't know. I saved them. They got lost, though. The porn got lost to the ages, and the dick pics got lost to the ages.
So sad.
I'm sad to say. When my computer died, they went with it.
I'm sure the owners of those dick pics
are the same guy from 2 different emails. I wasn't really comparing and contrasting them, but they did come from different emails.
Oh.
They were emailed to me. So weird. Like, you gotta send an attachment?
That also means they could get forwarded. Like, do you not know that?
If you think I didn't tell the other people in my comic community, well, not all of them, but some of them, I definitely was like, oh my god,
like,
y'all, guess what I got?
It's just weird. And on that note, I'm pressing a button.
Do you suffer from the horrendous ailment of omnitism?
Oh, it hurts everywhere.
So many of us do, having never realized that there is a simple and easy cure. With the introduction of Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented omnitism oil, a healing antiseptic liniment, you can be free from crippling omnitism. This amazing new oil can be used both internally and externally, but is best when used in combination. Headache? Phineas can cure that. Gut rot? Phineas can cure that. Bunions? Eye strain? Toothaches? Phineas can cure all of that. Generalized, non-specific pain? Phineas can cure that too. Right away on a cloud of happiness, using Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented Omnitism oil. Dr. Phineas T. Norwood's patented Omnitism oil, a healing antiseptic liniment.
So now that my cat has stopped filming her OnlyFans in our Zoom call.
Oh, that was terrible. I did not need to see that.
Trying to podcast with cats occasionally means showing your co-host gets a full screen full of cat butthole.
Yeah, it was like a pink starfish. It was lovely.
Up close and in person.
It's not what I wanted to see.
We were ranting and raving in between the in between with about dick pics and unsolicited commentary on your personage. And I have to say that, like, I have had many always men. Sorry to all our male identifying listeners that would never do this kind of shit. But always, in my experience, has always been men, usually older men that should know better, making some commentary that is 100% unnecessary about some part of my anatomy. Like, I wanted to know their opinion on it. And and I was more uncomfortable with, like, them commenting on my tits or whatever than I was that getting a random erect penis in my email. Yeah. It feels grosser.
Yeah, so back in...
Like, I've been ogling you and I just wanted you to know. It's like, I didn't need to know. Cool, thanks. Bye.
So I have a whole theory that I like to refer to as it's my weak gazelle theory. And okay. This it only pertains to me. Maybe it works for other people, I don't know, but it's my weak gazelle theory. And it's that whenever I am feeling at my lowest and most unconscious of my surrounding feeling, that is when some pervy old man because it's always a pervy old man, slides in next to me and then offers to buy me underwear or tries to solicit something. And it's like, it's always when I am sick and feeling terrible and like I have no makeup on.
You look vulnerable.
I am wearing whatever I felt like putting on that was comfortable to leave the house. The example I use is that many, many eons ago when I was in my mid-20s, I had to pick up many eons ago, I had to pick up my then boyfriend at a bar. He was playing a round of pool and finishing up, and I was sick, and I went and sat at the bar and asked the bartender to make me a drink, and he made me a hot toddy because he knew I wasn't feeling good, because that's a good bartender. And so I was sipping that and just quietly sitting in a corner waiting for my now ex-boyfriend to finish his game of pool. And this
I would hope so, unless you've been keeping secrets.
Yeah, no, God, no. Also, I don't want to go into that.
For a reason.
Yes. But then this, creepy old man, old enough to be not just my father, possibly my grandfather.
Grandpa. So Grandpa slid up next to you.
Yes, slid up next to me and then offered to buy me underwear. And I'm just sitting, and it's the weak gazelle. The weak gazelle moment. That was my weak gazelle moment, because I was comfortable and I wasn't alert. I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings because I felt safe, because this was a place that I hung out at a lot. Also, it was a gay bar. It was a neighborhood gay bar. I am the last.
You are in the wrong place.
Yeah, for one, I'm the last usually the reason I hung out there was because I was the last thing anyone was interested in, and that made me and that was nice, and I liked that. I would go in there and get drinks and eat some Swedish meatballs and play pool and listen to music, and it was lovely.
Oh, so what is it? I'm wondering if I should mention my friend's name. I will not.
No.
I'll not mention my friend's name, but I will say that they were at the time a student in Jacksonville, Florida. I feel like that part is important.
That is always important, because Jacksonville,
because Florida, because Jacksonville, Florida, and they were drinking in a goth club and they were there with their girlfriend drinking. And I should mention my friend is 6 foot plus giant Swede. And at the time identified as male, and was sitting there drinking a beer, and this old dude slid up next to them and was like, "If you wanted breasts, I would buy them for you." They're all of 18, still huge at 18, but in this bar illegally. And they're they got their black lipstick on, and they're like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And so creepy old man left, and they said maybe 2 months later they saw the same creepy old guy, and they were in there with a statuesque, over 6 foot tall blonde Amazon with giant boobs, and they were like, "Did I miss my opportunity? Hold on." They might have been serious, because they were like, "Okay, yeah, sure, go away, old creeper." And then they were like, "Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't know if I wanted breasts, but I didn't know that was a serious offer on the table."
Yeah, no.
This was in the 90s.
Well, no, it was also in the 90s that I was in that bar.
Yeah, the 90s were kind of the Wild West of inappropriate commentary.
Yeah. I mean, there was many a goth night in the 90s where I would watch some old dude go from female person to female person to female person around the club, hitting on them, and then inevitably they would come up to me,
wind up at you,
and it would be one of those like,
Also,
yeah, no, not gonna do
like
that.
I've seen you hit on every other person here, and now it's the end of the night, and
Yeah.
you're hitting on me. That's not a compliment.
Yes. Also, my self-esteem isn't that bad.
Not that low.
I mean,
And
it's terrible,
you-
but no. Also,
it's not good. It's
also,
not that.
my daddy issues are not the same kind of daddy issues. Like, they do not line up. My daddy issues are the kind of daddy issues that's going to get you punched and beaten up and kicked to the floor, not the daddy issues that makes me want to make out with you. Sorry. Sorry.
These are the wrong daddy issues. You don't
These
want,
are-
or if you do want them, we can negotiate something.
Yes, there might be a price that has
Could
to
be.
be negotiated, but that's also, I don't really want to deal with that. So
Yeah, I once had a dude that I watched make the rounds end up at me at the end of the night when he was already very drunk, so super complimented, very feeling
it's always lovely.
very feeling myself, and thought that his Scottish accent was going to be enough to close the deal, as it were, without realizing that that is the voice of my grandmother and my great grandmother. So there is not an accent less sexy to me on the. Sorry, Scots guys, I know, and ladies, your bro and non-binary buds, your brogue is beautiful. It's just not sexy to me. Because
No.
that is like a yelling voice that I've heard growing up. And so I can't ever imagine that voice in a sexy scenario. Somebody be crack out with like, ooh, touch my boobs. And I'd be like, all right, I'm done. No, gotta leave. Sorry. I'm not even Catholic. I'm gonna find a church. I'm gonna find a confessional. So that was the first, like, yeah. And also, like, yeah, no, you yelling at me aggressively. What's your problem? What's the big chip on your shoulder? It's not the sexy thing that you think it is.
Yeah,
It just
well,
mostly
also, that
makes
just-
most women think, are you gonna try to kick my ass when I walk
That seems
away?
super
'Cause
aggressive.
Also, I'm looking at you, and I think I got a shot. I
Like,
got a shot at beating you. Maybe not, but I'm gonna go down fighting.
I think,
And neither of us is gonna walk away from that feeling good about
yeah, I
ourselves.
think I'm gonna take you.
I might not take you, but I will make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
In the interim.
Yeah. Well, so that has been our. Wow, this has been a probably two.
You shouldn't have put Horny Pony on the playlist.
I'm sorry.
That was where it all went wrong.
This has been like too much information radio today.
It's the pandemic. What do we have to do these days but talk about crap that happened in the past?
I know, because
None of us are doing anything.
We don't go anywhere.
We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything. We can't talk about new shit because it's just not happening.
There's nothing new.
Nobody wants to hear about my opinions on Letterkenny for 45 minutes.
No, please no.
Or Golden Girls, because I finished both of those recently. Because what else am I doing?
I just watched The Owl House again. That's all.
Oh, I like the Owl House.
It was good.
Oh, watch the Owl
I
House.
also tried to watch the new Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh, the 3D animation one.
Yeah. I have opinions. Strong opinions.
We'll save those for next week.
Yeah,
Ooh.
mostly I've just discovered that no, I like Hayao Miyazaki films. I'm not on board for a lot of the other Studio Ghibli stuff. I'm sorry. It's just not. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It has potential. I liked the potential.
I do want to see the new Lupin the Third movie that's animated.
The what?
Lupin the Third.
Oh, Lupin
is an anime.
Oh yeah.
Based on the
Well,
French.
And I watched Lupin the French series.
The French one. That
Yes.
was good, wasn't it?
It was so good. It was so good.
There we go.
It was so good. It made Rupert actually come and sit and watch the whole thing with me because he's
So very good.
So yeah.
Also, lead actor in that, very attractive.
Yes. Oh yeah. Like also
Hot French dude.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's dubbed, but hot. But you know
Yes.
it's French, so
you
you're
know
like,
it's French. It's
"Ooh,
fine.
He's speaking French under that dub.
You can tell. Yeah. Well, it's also. It's just no. It was a good. It was a good show, good, and I was very excited about it.
You love a good heist.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch The Watch on BBC, and it's a Discworld series, and
Oh, yep.
I have strong opinions. I have so many opinions. I'm trying really hard not to. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish watching it, and then I will watch it again,
And then form your
and then
final opinion.
actually, yeah, and then decide how I feel about it. But right
Ooh.
now, I'm irritated.
Oh, and speaking of book adaptations, well, kind of
Yes.
graphic novel adaptations, Gwendolyn Christie is Lucifer in the upcoming Endless.
I know, and I am so excited about that.
I'm very here for that.
It
Oh my
makes-
god, especially if they keep the suits.
Well, it makes me think of Tilda Swinton in Constantine.
Right.
Or no,
Tilda
not
Swinton in
Constantine. Oh no, she played Gabriel in Constantine.
Yeah, she was very androgynous as Gabriel in that, wearing
Yeah.
suits. And that was very good. Also, when she dressed up like David Bowie, also.
Yes. Also, Tilda Swinton in Orlando. I mean, I could
Or just Tilda Swinton in general.
Yes. Yeah.
I think is what we're saying.
Yes.
But, or at least I'm saying.
Yes.
But yes, I'm very excited for it.
I put Gwendolyn Christie in that Tilda Swinton little androgynous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but she's not in that when she goes androgynous, it's amazing. Or when she goes high femme, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No,
I would not have picked her for Lucifer, but the second somebody said it, I was like, oh yes, please.
Yeah. Oh no. So far the casting that I have heard about the Sandman series has been. I'm like, I am actually very, very intrigued by this, and
even if it's terrible, it'll be good eye candy.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's how I feel about the Watch so far, is that the actors that they have chosen for the characters, I feel, are very good. The story is I'm very
sympathetic for the
I'm very
writers
confused by it. It's just what it boils down to. I have no idea what they're trying to do with it.
Discworld is going to be a real hard needle to thread as far as writing is concerned.
You know what I mean? It is, but there's so much information. There's so much to. It's like doing a Star Wars thing. It's like there is so much back.
It's like a prequel. It's
yes.
like, oh, I don't want to know about the Senate.
Yes, it's like there is.
I just want to see Yoda fight some people.
It's just so. I'm just very confused because the story is jumping, or like I don't know what story they're trying to do, because they have mushed several different things, and then they've tried to make it dark and gritty and edgy, and like I love Cheery. I love some of the new characterizations that they have done, and I feel like some of them, Terry Pratchett would have approved of, because when he wrote them, he didn't think about it that way. But I'm sure that if he had written the characters now, he would totally have been like, "Oh yes, that would work." But there's just a lot of I don't know.
We'll have to see. It sometimes takes series a little bit to get their feet, so we'll see.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back after, I'm gonna finish it, and then I will go back and I will rewatch it, and I will rewatch it with a completely pretend this is not the Discworld. Just watch it for the show that it is.
For what it is.
And see.
That's hard though sometimes.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm very emotionally attached to Discworld.
That was also that was like me trying to watch the Darkest Rising movie.
Yes.
I mean, it was bad.
Yes, but that is the same kind of feeling. That visceral feeling
you are not doing this right.
Yes. That visceral feeling that you had about The Darkest Rising, that's how I am feeling about this. But at the same time, there are parts that I like about it, so I keep.
Yeah. Oh, see, there you go. That's already better. That's a better sign. There was nothing about that.
So
movie
I keep soldiering on, but there's still a lot of it that I'm very confused about.
Actually, there was some very good. I will admit, there were some very good atmospheric, spooky horror bits that they set up in it. Still a terrible movie.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually watched it because you watched it before me and you were like, no, don't do it.
So bad. I was so mad. Yeah, I
And I
tried
was
to get
like-
drunk because I thought if I was drunk, I would be amiable. Like, sometimes I just want to get drunk and watch a dumb movie. And I thought I'd be amiable to it if I was drunk. I was not. It just made me madder.
Yeah.
Alcohol only fueled my rage.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes.
And they tried to replace all the magic with science.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No, because none of what happens in the movie or in the books can be explained with physics, and that's the point.
Yeah, that's just.
All
Oh.
right.
All right.
I'm done.
We've gone.
We did actually end up talking about movies we saw.
Yeah. Look at that. It's still weird.
We're just eventually just going to turn into a show about, I saw a bird today. It was in my yard.
I saw a
today.
squirrel. I saw a
I
squirrel.
was talking to my friend today.
I
and
saw a squirrel.
bird.
It went like this.
I turned it a little bit into Letterkenny to pull back to my before reference. You didn't catch it because you don't watch Letterkenny, but
I can't watch it.
wanted to point out that I
can't-
was very clever on my behalf
Okay.
because I need validation,
Okay.
especially in a
It's
pandemic.
very good. It was a
Don't,
very
but
good.
not dick pics. Do not send me dick pics.
It was a very good Letterkenny reference. I don't.
Thank you.
I
You
can't-
have no idea, and I know you're only humoring me, but
I am.
thank you.
I am because I can't watch that because it reminds me of
You're trying
childhood.
to have on a plaid shirt and some very high pants.
Yes. All right. And with that, this has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
And she is Emmett Davenport.
And it's not work we do.
It's love.
Are you tired that your extraordinary contraptions fly apart when you apply the power? Do you get frustrated with the big ship that keeps dropping parts, making you wonder why you built it? Are your best made cogs dead because you haven't tightened them down enough? Well, you need spanners, my friend. Darn good ones, too. Come on down to Walsenberg's hardware shop at Abernathy Square for all the finest tools and fasteners. They're good as new.
Thank you.
Remember, folks, Walsenberg's hardware on the northeast corner of Abernathy Square. Tell them Cosgrove sent you.